And welcome into HS Sports Live. This is Brian Schutte alongside Taylor Dorsey on the camera tonight as we're here for a Big 12 showdown between the Central Maroons and the Centennial Chargers, as we're joining you with 4:47 to go here in quarter number one. Had some technical difficulties this evening as Jimmy Fitzgerald is already hooked up for a touchdown pass here in this one, so the Chargers lead 8-0, as that's going to be a run here for the Maroons over to the right side. And that is going to be Rivera here for the carry. And that is going to be a first down here for the Maroons. So that's going to make it a 1st and 10 here at the, and that's going to be at the 16-yard line as the Maroons going in, hoping to tie this one up here. As coming in from the sidelines here is Montrell Moore as he'll join the huddle. As the Maroons coming into this one at 3-4 on the season, as are the Chargers. As the Maroons are going to switch, and quarterback Nick Glenn is going to send this to the left side, and that is going to be about a 1-yard gain there for the Maroons. And that is going to be Rivera again. And that is going to bring up 2nd and 10 now, as they're going to say that is no gain here. 3:50 to go here in quarter number one, as we are live here at Tommy Stewart Field, as the winner of this game will keep their playoff hopes alive in this one, as it takes 5 wins to qualify for a playoff berth here for these two teams. And as we mentioned, both at 3-4, so the loser of this game will have their playoff hopes dashed. And this is going to be another run up the middle here for the Maroons, as Montrell Moore gets the carry this time. And that is going to bring up a third down here. And that's going to be 3rd and 6 now. So this is going to be a big play for the Maroons here in the first quarter, as this is a home game, I should say, for the Chargers of Centennial, as they honored their seniors before the game here this evening. As quarterback Nick Glenn under center, as they're set for a big 3rd down play here, as that is going to be a run to the right side. They're going to hand to the fullback now, and he is going to come up short of the 1st down, as that is going to be Rivera on the carry, as he's had a busy drive here. As Richard Rivera comes up short, gets a gain of 2, so that's going to bring up 4th down now, 4th and 4, as we'll see what the Maroons do here. As Brandon Klein over to the sideline to get the play, he'll bring it back to the huddle. As 4th and 4, Chargers on top, 8-0 Central, as the Centennial players try to get the crowd into this one here. A big 4th down play for their defense upcoming, as Glenn snaps, and they're going to flip this one over to the right side. This is going to be Richard Rivera again, and he breaks through for a touchdown, and the Maroons bring this one back to within 2, 8-6. After the Chargers were able to get a Jimmy Fitzgerald touchdown pass on the first drive, the Maroons come storming back down the field, and they capitalize on a big 4th down play. So that's going to make it 8-6. So the Maroons now will bring out their troops to go for 2. Actually, it looks like they're just going to go for an extra point here. Now Jamal Stovall is going to offset to the left side. Interesting formation here for the Maroons, and he's going to try to run it in himself. Now he's going to flip it up top. 2-point conversion is good, as Montrell Moore makes the catch in the back right corner of the end zone. And it looks like there is a flag on the field, so we'll see if this play will stand, as that was a well-run play that time by the Maroons. As Stovall, an odd formation, off balance to the left, and he dropped back and found Montrell Moore in the back right side. And they are going to pick up the flag on the field, so this game is going to be tied at 8 apiece here. 1:58 to go in quarter number one, as also a Twin City championship on the line here for these two teams tonight. Both the Maroons and the Chargers earlier knocked off Urbana during the season, so one of these two teams is going to walk out of here with the Twin City championship, and the hopes of a playoff spot still alive. So a very interesting drive there. as we'll see if Centennial can regroup here as a huddle on the sideline, getting set to send this one back out. So a good solid drive there for the Maroons, and this may be a good football game here, ladies and gentlemen. So as we mentioned, 1:58 to go in quarter number one. Both of these teams coming off a victory last week. Champaign Central defeated Danville by the score of 39-14, where Centennial defeated Springfield by the score of 28-13. And set to kick off here for the Maroons is going to be number 4, Stephen Lee. As there's the whistle. As now the Maroon cheering section is getting into this one. As back deep here for Centennial are both Dominic Stampley as well as Jeremiah Peoples, and this is going to be Stampley as he's going to take it down the left side of the field. He gets one block and he breaks a tackle. Now he's going to cut it back the other way. Stampley's got room to run, one man to beat as that he's going to go around Jeremy Bray. A big return there for Dominic Stampley, as it looked like he was dead to rights over here on the near sideline, and he was able to break it back, reverse the field, and had a big run down the right side. So a good field position now for the Chargers as they will take the football back here at the 40. Actually, it's going to be at the 44 as they gave him forward progress that time. So it's going to be 1st and 10 here for the Chargers. As we mentioned, Fitzgerald already with one touchdown pass on the night. So we'll see if he can come back and get a second one here. So Fitzgerald in the shotgun here. Snap coming, and he's going to hand off. This is going to be Austin Malbia, and he is stopped just on the other side of the 45-yard line. It looks like a gain of about 1.5. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 now. As Fitzgerald gets the play from the sideline here, and the Chargers, they will send in Christian Wade here to join the huddle. As the Maroon defense played fairly well there on that first drive, just couldn't keep the Chargers out of the end zone, as Fitzgerald, 6'3" quarterback, back in the shotgun yet again, as he'll take the snap, another handoff to Malbia. And he is rocked in the middle, ball loose, and diving onto that one is Jimmy Fitzgerald. As that was a big hit by the Maroon linebacker core that time, and that knocked the ball loose there from Malbia. As Fitzgerald, a very alert play that time to dive on the loose football. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 now. Maltby had picked up 2-3 yards on that play, but had the ball knocked right back. But fortunate for the Chargers, they do still have possession of the football. So 3rd and 7 here, 26 seconds on the clock here in quarter number one. As Fitzgerald from the shotgun yet again, he's going to drop back to throw, and he's under pressure, and he is going to nearly break free, and that sack is going to go to Jeremy Bray. As Bray did a great job that time, as Fitzgerald, slippery in the pocket that time, he was very nearly able to break the tackle. So Bray will be credited with the tackle, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 15 as Fitzgerald comes over to the Chargers sideline here. And we would assume that they are going to punt here. So as the quarter comes to an end, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back after this. This is HS Sports Live here at Tommy Stewart Field. As we are back here on HS Sports Live, as we are here at Tommy Stewart Field after one quarter of action, the Chargers and the Maroons in the matchup of Champaign here are tied at 8 apiece, as it is going to be Centennial ball here, 4th and 15, as Fitzgerald was sacked on the last play there of the first quarter, so they are back to punt. As back deep to receive the punt here is going to be Michael Menard, and that one is going to roll over towards the sideline and get out of bounds, as that is going to be at the 34-yard line, so that is where the Maroons will take possession of the ball.
It will be 1st and 10 for Central at the Rome 35-yard line.
As this has been a good first quarter so far, and we thank you for joining us here on HS Sports Live. If you had any feedback or would like to advertise on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET, please email us at hssportslive@yahoo.com. As this is Brian Schutte here with you tonight, and we appreciate you joining us on a Friday night football. And that is going to be a penalty. We'll see who it's going to go against. It looks like Centennial jumped early that time, but we'll make sure the Maroons stood pat, and they're going to walk this one off right away. So that is going to be offsides on the Centennial defensive line. So a quick 5 yards there for the Maroons without a snap of the football. So 1st and 5 upcoming now. As Nick Glenn under center here for the Maroons. As Glenn, he's going to turn and hand the ball off here to Montrell Moore, as Moore with a couple there as he gets on the other side of the 40-yard line. It looks like he's at about the 41-yard line there. So that is going to bring up a 2nd and 3 now.
And Coleman, it'll be 2nd down, 2nd and 5 for Central at the Rome 40-yard line.
So Central at their own 40 here, as we'll see if they could take advantage of a miscue by the Centennial defensive line up front here. As Glenn back under center again. And he snaps this one, pitch over here to the near side to Rivera, and he gets a couple that time. As Richard Rivera now, as he gets stopped at the 44 now. And that's going to create a 3rd and 1 here. After the Chargers came roaring out of the gate here and got the lead, the Maroons came right back, and then a big defensive stop here. And this is going to be a big 3rd down here, as the Maroons are going to try to go back up on top. As we mentioned, both teams come in at 3 and 4 on the season and fighting for their playoff lives here on a Friday night at Tommy Stewart Field. As he's going to hand off to the fullback there, and he will move the pile, and he breaks free, and that is going to be Richard Rivera on a big, big run there on 3rd and 1, as he got more than enough that time to pick up a Maroon 1st down. And he's all the way down to the 37-yard line of the Chargers. 6 foot, 195-pound Richard Rivera. He absolutely moved the pile that time. Looked like he was going to be close to the 1st down anyway, but squeezed through the middle there and picked up some extra yardage. So a big play there for the Maroons as they went right up the gut. So that's going to create a 1st and 10 on the Charger 37, as the Maroons looking to take the lead here in the 2nd quarter. 9:58 to go here before half, as he's going to turn around and hand that ball off as well. Nice job by the Centennial defense swallowing him up over there on the right side, as that was Rivera again on the carry. And that's going to be at the 38-yard line now. Actually, he's going to lose a yard on the play, so that's going to make 2nd and 11 now.
At the Centennial 38-yard line.
As they're going to send Michael Menard in here to the huddle. As the Maroons break the huddle here, facing a 2nd and 11. 8-8 your score here, as the Chargers and the Maroons. As Glenn's going to roll out to the right. He's looking to throw down the sideline. Overshoots Michael Menard down the right sideline there, as he looked like he was open momentarily, but he was too tall that time. Good effort that time of Menard to go up and try to pull that one down. But that's going to bring up 3rd and 11 now for the Maroons.
At the Centennial 38-yard line.
As ball still here at the Centennial 38. As you would think you may be in 4-down territory here for the Maroons. They could possibly go for a little pooch punt here if they are unable to get it here on 3rd and 11. Try to pin Centennial back near their goal line. But first things first, we'll see what they can do here on 3rd down. As that is going to be a penalty flag on the field. And it looks like it's going to be false start against the Maroons. So that's going to make a 3rd and 11 even more difficult there. So they'll walk the ball back 5 yards. So that'll make it 3rd and 16 now. A definite passing situation here for the Maroons, but we'll see if they go conservative and just go for the run here. So 3rd and 16 here, as it looks like Glenn under center now. As it looks like it's going to be a end around here, and they were trying to get the ball over here on the reverse to Matthew Brown, but Centennial played that one perfectly. Faked the handoff to the fullback coming through, and coming around that time was Brown. But that is going to be a loss on the play, so that's going to make it 4th and 21. And it looks like they are set up to punt here. And it looks like it is going to be, we've got 2 in the backfield there. And they are going to punt it, and that is Joshua Bagger doing the honors. And that one goes out of bounds right about the Centennial 30-yard line there, as he kind of spun that one off the side of his foot. As I'm sure he'd like to get a little bit more distance on that one, but it goes out of bounds here with 8:26 on the clock. So that is where Centennial will take the ball over here, and they will say that that one went out on the 32-yard line is where the ball crossed the sideline. So first down for Champaign Centennial, as Jimmy Fitzgerald back on the field here for the Chargers, as he continues to work out of the shotgun as he has all evening long here. And he's going to hand this one off as Austin Maltbia, and he's got some room to run and good space. And that is going to be a tackle on the near side here, as Brandon Klein in on the action. Also on the tackle that time was Jeremy Bray. Bray picked up the big sack on the last drive of Centennials to force a punt, so he's right in the action yet again. So that is a gain of 8 on the play, so that'll create a 2nd and 2 here for the Chargers. As a 4-receiver set here for the Chargers, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, but they're going to hand off to Malbia as he looks for a seam, and he is going to be stopped short of the first down. Maybe got a yard that time. And they're going to put that on the 41-yard line, and that is going to make a 3rd and 1 upcoming here. As we'll see if Centennial goes to the power game here and tries to bust this one up the gut. So 3rd and 1, ball on the Charger 41. This ball game tied at 8 apiece. Snap on the way, and there's a flag. Look like some movement up front here. We'll see who the guilty party is. And that is going to go against the Chargers. So a 3rd and 1 just turned to a 3rd and 6 just like that. As that's exactly what you're not wanting to do in a short yardage situation there. Give yourself further to travel. As we approach 7 minutes before halftime here. Score tied 8 apiece here between the Chargers and the Maroons. So 3rd and 6 now after the false start on Centennial. So Fitzgerald now back in the shotgun, and snap on the way. He's going to throw as he's going to roll out to his right, pump fakes, and that ball is dropped by Dominic Stampley. It looked like that would have been near the first down marker, but incomplete there as Stampley couldn't squeeze that one. So the Chargers, they will send in the punting unit here, and back deep to receive here for the Maroons is going to be Michael Menard again. And it's going to be Patrick Gibbons back to punt here for the Chargers. As As ball snapped and kick on the way here as Gibbons, and fair catch called for that time by Menard, and it is made here about the 32-yard line. So that's where the Maroons will start this next possession, as they will try to go back in front, as both teams were able to get a score here in the first quarter, and then both the Charger defense as well as the Maroon defense have come to play, and they've got a couple of key stops here, and penalties thwarted that momentum that the Chargers had developed in that last drive. A 3rd-and-1 play, move back on a false start. So now the Maroons will take back over as quarterback Nick Glenn back out here on the field. As Glenn's going to hand this one off, and spinning over to the left side there, that is Brandon Klein on the carry that time. Gain of a couple.
Central 35-yard line.
Gain of 2 on the play there, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 now for Central. And as we mentioned earlier, both of these teams were able to knock off Urbana earlier this season, so both teams in line for a Twin City championship here, as the overall series between these two teams is extremely close. Centennial out on top in the rivalry 20-19-1, so it doesn't get much closer than that between these two crosstown rivals, as now good first down run that time by the Maroons, and that's going to be Rivera on the carry, as he's going to be right at the chains there, but it looks like they are going to give him the first down that time. So that's going to be a 1st and 10 upcoming now at the Central 44-yard line.
First and 10 for Central at their own 44-yard line.
As the Maroons heavy on the right side here on the line. And now going in motion is going to be Montrell Moore. And he stops in the backfield here. Nick Glenn turns around, makes some corrections here. And they're going to hand this one off yet again. And Rivera is going to get the carry that time. Gain of maybe a yard that time. Actually, they're going to give him 2 on the play, so that's going to create a 2nd and 8 now. 5:10 to go here before halftime. Centennial and Central tied up here at 8 apiece. Both had nice touchdown drives, were able to capitalize on the 2-point conversion. So Central breaks the huddle, facing a 2nd and 8 here, looking to try to take the lead here before the half, as Glenn under center. As this one is going to be handed off up the middle, and Centennial, they run him right back into the backfield, as Rivera goes nowhere on that one, as that's going to be no gain, possibly even lost a yard, as they'll say he got back to the line of scrimmage. So that's going to make a 3rd and 8 here at the 46.
It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 8 for Central at their own 46-yard line.
Central, they've been very conservative so far, as we have yet to see him really air it out yet. As now getting free on the left side here, that's going to be a big run by Tion Posey. As Posey, and he is going to get the first down that time, as he found some space over on the left side of the line here, broke it out to the sideline, and is able to make it to the first down marker. So that's going to be a 1st and 10 now, as they are into Centennial territory now, as that is a timeout, I believe. Nope, they're going to say, as they just reset the chains that time. 3:45 now before the half, as Central hurrying to the line here. As ball loose, he fumbles. Ball is loose. Centennial may have the football, as we've got a couple of players grabbing for it on the bottom here. And they are going to say that the Maroons are able to keep that one, as number 12, Nick Glenn, is able to get that one, as that was awfully close to a turnover that time on the Maroons. Centennial had a great shot at that one, but good job by Glenn covering that loose ball up. So that's going to create a 2nd and 15, but they do still have possession of the football here. 3:04 to go before the half. As Glenn under center now, as he's got Rivera in the backfield here. And the handoff will go to Rivera, and he is going to be stopped about the 47 or so.
Centennial 46-yard line.
We'll call it the 46, actually. Gain of 1, so that's going to make it a 3rd and 14 now. 2:31 to go here in the half.
For Central at the Centennial 46-yard line.
So 3rd down, 14 to go now, as Central will send 3 receivers deep to the right, and they're going to throw to Rivera. Great one-handed catch. Ball is loose over on the sideline, and that one is out of bounds, and that was a big, big hit. Looked like the stick made that time by Philip Hassel. As that was a heck of a catch by Rivera. Ball was over his left shoulder. He had to reach back with one hand, but before Centennial was able to grab the possession, the ball did roll out of bounds, so that will allow Central, they will have the opportunity to punt here. This is going to be Joshua Bagger back to punt now for the Maroons. And actually, it's going to be Rivera now on the left side getting the punt, and that's an excellent kick, and it is just going to roll into the end zone that time. Montrell Moore was charging hard on that one, trying to prevent that one from getting in the end zone, but a good attempt that time by Rivera on the punt. So the ball will change hands as the Chargers will get this one at the 20-yard line, and that is going to be 1:57 on the clock to work with here. So quarterback Jimmy Fitzgerald will come in and see if he can get something going here for the Chargers before the break. So Centennial to the line quickly here. 8-8 your score. As Fitzgerald with the snap, and he's going to throw, and that ball is going to be dropped. Intended receiver on the play, Christian Wade. As good solid throw there, hit him right between the 1 and the 0 on Wade's jersey there, but he could not come up with the catch. Some of his teammates slap him on the backside there and say, all right, you'll get him next time. So the Chargers back to the line now, 1:54 on the clock after the quick 3-step drop and the fire by Fitzgerald. As he's back to pass yet again, he's going to go deep down the sideline, and the catch is going to be made by Dominic Stampley, as that was a perfectly placed football that time by Fitzgerald, as there was no way the Maroon defensive backs could get to that one. So an excellent pass that time, and nice job keeping his feet in bounds that time by Stampley. So that's going to be a 1st and 10 now from the Centennial 44. As the Chargers break the huddle here, Fitzgerald thrown 2 consecutive plays here. As they're in their 2-minute drill, let's see if they can continue to move the football down the field. As going in motion that time, Aaron Quinn. Fitzgerald, the short pass, and that's caught by Stephen Lee. He breaks a tackle, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds on the near side. Tackle made that time by Brandon Klein, but another good gain that time by the Chargers, as they will now be in Central territory here with 1:42 on the clock.
First and 10 for Centennial at the Central 36-yard line. Timeout, Central.
And it looks like the Maroons will burn a timeout here. As Nate Alba, the first-year head coach here for the Maroons, he doesn't like what he's seen at his defense, so he's going to call the troops over here to the sideline. 3 consecutive completions now for Jimmy Fitzgerald as he's marching his team down the field here in the last 2 minutes. 1:42 on the clock as the Maroons huddle up over there on the sideline. As we mentioned, Nate Alba on his first year as the Central coach. The Maroons finished 0-9 last year, so to have them at 3-4 this year, definitely an improvement in Alba's first year. As head coach here for Mike McDonald, 17th year in charge of the Centennial program, 96 and 73 overall on the year, and he is, or on the, for his career, I should say, as win number 97 would be a big one here for the Chargers, as that would keep their playoff eligibility alive possibly. So the Maroons back on the field here as the Chargers come to the line. So Fitzgerald back in the gun, going in motion now. Aaron Quinn. As Fitzgerald drops back 3 steps, and that is nearly intercepted that time. Great play on the ball by Adrian Gomez as he was looking for Stephen Lee across the middle that time, but a great play that time by Gomez. He couldn't come up with the football that time, but at least knocked that one down. So that's going to be 2nd and 10 now on the Central 36-yard line. 1:39 remaining here in the second quarter. Centennial trying to get some points here before the half and take the lead. As the Chargers and Maroons tied up at 8 apiece here is Fitzgerald ready for the second down play. As he's going to be running some pressure, breaks one tackle. Now he gets a nice block in the backfield, throws it over the middle. Pass is complete to Stephen Lee, as that's going to be caught at the 27-yard line.
Central 27-yard line.
So this is going to be a third down play, a 3rd and 2 upcoming with 1:13 to go before half. As Fitzgerald, 3rd and 2, and he's going to throw this one short, and the catch is made, and it looks like he may have the first down that time. And it looks like that was Stephen Lee. Actually, looks like it was Kyrie Sago there with the catch. As not a great thrown football that time by Fitzgerald, but Sago did a nice job going down and getting that one. Good thing about that pass was nobody else could get that besides Sago. So they will give him the first down here as we're under a minute to go in the first half. As it's a 1st and 10 play here for the Chargers. As Fitzgerald now looks to the right side, and this one's going to be a wide open Stephen Lee, and he is in the end zone for a touchdown. So the second touchdown pass of the first half here for Jimmy Fitzgerald, as Lee was wide open over here on the right side, and he walked in for a touchdown, Centennial. As they go up 14-6 here with 48.6 remaining on the clock. So an excellent, well-run 2-minute drill that time by the Chargers. As they will set up and go for 2 yet again, as Fitzgerald from the gun. Split, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. As Fitzgerald back to pass, and he's going to throw it over the middle, incomplete. Intended receiver that time, Dominic Stampley. So the Chargers are stuck on 14 there. Not a bad run play that time. Just threw it a bit behind him that time. But the Chargers go back in front on the touchdown by Stephen Lee. So with 48.6 seconds remaining before the half, the Chargers lead this one 14-8. As we'll see what the Maroons can do here in the final minutes of half number 1, as their defense was taken aback a bit that time as Fitzgerald marched his team right down the line. We'll see what Central quarterback Nick Glenn can do and see if he can have a similar effort. Not near as much time to work with as Fitzgerald did, but we'll see what he can come out with here. So back deep to receive here for Central is both Montrell Moore as well as Tion Posey. As here comes the kick, it's going to be taken that time by Stephen Lee, and it's going to be taken here by Montrell Moore. And Moore is down as he's going to be down here about the 22-yard line here. So 45.9 seconds here for the Central Maroons to work with as they trail now 14-8. So Glenn will bring his team back on the field and see what they can do with this final 45.9. As this is HSSPORTSLIVE.NET here at Tommy Stewart Field. We thank you for joining us here on an exciting Friday night of football, as Glenn's going to roll over to the right, and he's going to throw pass complete to Maltbia, and he is tripped up that time. Tackle will go to Joseph Altz.
Glenn's pass complete to Menard.
So a good solid tackle that time by Centennial. Clock continues to run here. 25 seconds remaining now, as that's going to be a gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and 7 now, as Central now will burn another timeout here, and the clock will stop with 21.9 seconds remaining in the half. So a 14-8 lead here for Centennial, as Central trying to decide what they're going to do with this final 21.9. Wouldn't be surprised to just see him try to run this one out and go into the half trailing by a single touchdown. You always got to be careful on this side of the field. Always a fumble or an interception could be a possibility there. So you want to make sure you protect the football here if you're the Maroons. As Glenn, that was one of the few times we've seen him outside of the pocket here in this first half, as he rolled over to the right and he was able to find Austin Maltbia for a gain of 3. But as we mentioned, good solid tackling that time by Centennial to make sure he didn't break free and get down that far sideline. So the Centennial defense, the first back onto the field here. 21.9 to go. It's going to be a 2nd and 7 play upcoming here for the Maroons. As Glenn under center now. That's a little bit of movement up front, and Glenn will throw again. He's going to chuck it down the sideline. He looks for Jamal Stovall, and Central is looking for a flag that time, but good defense that time by Centennial, as Glenn took a shot down the sideline that time. Pretty good throw that time, but well played by the Chargers. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 now with 16.3 on the game clock. As Central huddles up here. 3rd and 7. As we'll see what Glenn does to do this one. As they overload the right side here, do the Maroons. They got 3 receivers on the right, and they flip this one down the middle. Open receiver Christian Wade makes the catch out here at the 45-yard line. So 11.1 on the clock now, as that's going to be a first down. As Central is going to burn another timeout here, as they will have 11.1. Still got a ways to go here, but they at least gave themselves another opportunity by converting that first down. So it is going to be 1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line. So 2 first half touchdown passes for quarterback Jimmy Fitzgerald has given the Chargers a 14-8 lead. Central, their defense has played pretty well here in this one. Just gave up those 2 touchdown passes. But we'll see if their offense can maybe get a long pass down the side and try to get some points on the board here before the half. Central first to the line. Centennial quick to join. As Glenn under center here, 11.1 seconds before the half. As he will drop back, pressure from the left side, and he is going to be sacked, as that is Jordan Terry that came flying off the right side of the line, and he hammered Glenn from behind. So that is going to do it for the first half. So the Champaign Centennial Chargers 14, Champaign Central Maroons 8. A great first half here, as they were back and forth, tied up at 8 apiece once before Fitzgerald connected on his 2nd touchdown pass. So we will break for the half. You are watching HS Sports Live here at Tommy Stewart Field in a matchup between Centennial and Central. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with half number 2